We've seen many stories from new and seasoned Etsy shops as to why they decided to close up shop. If you're in it for the long haul, on this episode of The Jam, we discuss how to avoid closing the doors on your Etsy shop for good. What is up? Welcome to The Jam. I am Gordon from Marmalade.
And I'm Richie from Marmalade.
And what are we talking about today on The Jam, Richie?
So today we are talking about some reasons that we've seen why Etsy shops close up shop and how you can avoid those. Jumping right in, first one is burnout. Now, this is something that and we should mention that some of these things are things that everything can be going great. You know, sometimes things are going too good. And this first one is, you can fall in that camp, right? Things are going fantastic, but you get burned out. So first one, the reason could be it's just not fun anymore. You're burned out, things are going awesome, but you're just not having fun. So how to avoid that? Well, keep it interesting in your shop. Listen, everything's not going to be fun, right? In our Etsy 101 series, we talk about things like accounting and taxes. Is that fun? No, not for me, not for Gordon, not for most people. Some people might enjoy it. And if you do, more power to you. But you probably don't think the other stuff is fun that most people do.
Formulas are my formula. Formula.
But for most of us that don't think that stuff is fun, keep it interesting. If you get bored with creating one product, switch it up and start creating something different. Bring elements from your original product over to your new product. I mean, maybe you got into Etsy in the first place because you enjoy creating new things. Then after you've been making that one for a while, maybe you just feel less than inspired again, right? But hey, that's one of the reasons we created Marmalade to begin with, was for the market research component. It's not just about keywords. It's about, what else can I make? What else are people buying? What else is out there in the market that I can put into my shop?
Another reason for burnout could be that things are getting too stressful. So how do you avoid this? Well, make sure that you're keeping a good work-life balance. And this can be tough, especially when you consider people working from home a lot recently. It's not easy to separate the two as much as it is when you have an office job and you have that commute to kind of mentally and physically separate your home life from your work life. So try keeping office hours, for example, and try avoiding working when you're outside of those hours. It can be a tough thing to do. We've talked to Kyle in the past, who during the busy holiday season makes a concerted point of saying like, okay, I'm going to figure out how much am I going to sell this holiday season. I'm going to prepare those things ahead of time. And when I sell out, like I'm done. And then at that point, I know I'm done for the holidays. He doesn't stress out about having to scramble and create a bunch of extra products because orders are still flooding in at that point. That's another thing that you can do to kind of maintain your sanity.
Yeah, it's important to set limits. Some of us are better at limits than others. I fall in the camp of not setting great limits. I don't do a lot of these things. I don't keep good office hours. I don't take breaks. I'll eat lunch at my desk. I definitely see the value in doing so, and I think that it would overall be better to. I think we do need a level of structure. Another reason you might get burned out is that you just can't keep up. So that's another one that falls in the things are going really great category. Now, this is a great problem to have. You say that now from the outside, right? But when you're in the thick of it, it seems awful. So how to avoid it though? Hey, maybe consider hiring an assistant for your shop to keep up with fulfilling orders. Now, if it's a seasonal thing and you can't have an assistant year round, that's okay, right? Just plan that ahead of time. Keep that in your mind going forward that like, hey, before things get really busy this holiday season, I need a little help with some packaging stuff. I need a little help with organizing, maybe getting even the paperwork together for the orders, stuff like that. Or I need help with someone taking stuff to go get shipped, things like that. Factor that in, make sure, your prices and everything that you can afford it, plan ahead. But, make sure that when things get to the point that you can't keep up, that you're going to be able to maintain that sanity.
Another big reason that Etsy shops close their doors is due to sales. And so this can be broken down into a number of different sub-reasons also. Your sales could be way down and you just can't afford to keep running your business the way that you have been. So how do you avoid this? Well, make sure you're keeping up with trends on your products and don't be afraid to switch things up in your shop if suddenly your products are no longer selling. It could be a good time to look into some other products, do some product development, see what might actually be gaining traction now. It's a hard thing for a lot of Etsy sellers who are very passionate about the art of their craft to say, look, from a business perspective, I can't sell this thing anymore. from a personal perspective, I have so much joy in making this. And a lot of times that's where that you have to find a middle ground of where does your joy and passion still meet with where there's a business need for things? Because I guarantee there's something out there that people still want and need that you can still make. That's not going to be that far of a departure from where you are now. So you have to keep that in mind. You know, if you're not getting enough engagement in your shop, if things have just kind of fallen off, jump into Marmalade and see how your keywords are doing, you know, or even email us at success@marmalade.com and we can see what we can do to help out with your keywords.
I want to take a moment to thank you for tuning in to the Jam by Marmalade. Marmalade helps guide you to keywords that real Etsy shoppers are using, so you can get more sales doing what you love. Check out Marmalade in the link in the description or at marmalead.com. So another reason, and this one comes down to patience and the need for instant gratification. It's been 2 weeks since I started my shop and I only have one sale. Could also be no sales. And really this is tempered in your expectation. You could have 10 sales and still not be meeting your expectation depending what it is. So what the really big thing here is how to avoid that. And the honest answer is that Etsy just isn't a get rich quick sort of deal. Right? And really anything long-term isn't. Okay. I've never come across something like that that's supposed to be a get rich quick scheme and that it's gonna work. Or when something does like have a little flash in the pan success, it's not a long-term thing, right? It's kind of a one-time thing. Could be flipping PlayStation 5s or something like that. When those came out, that was a big thing. Highly doubt that's still a big money-making venture that's scaling. You know, a thriving, bustling shop is going to take time. It's going to take research. It's going to take strategizing and evolving your shop, like we just talked about, just to keep that going. But that's part of the fun, right? You're not in this for just some sort of like set it and forget it, just walk away from this kind of thing, right? It's an Etsy shop. It's unique. It's handmade. It's vintage. Like it should be a balance of work and fun, but it should still be enjoyable for you. You know, if you want to learn more about some of that stuff, as far as, you know, strategizing, evolving, staying up on things, check out our Etsy 101 series and make sure you have everything dialed in for your specific shop. But again, temper your expectations because you're not just going to come right off the starting line and be right where you want to be long-term, right? Have reasonable goals. Hey, after a month, I want to be here. After 6 months, after a year, after 5 years. You know, these things don't necessarily happen overnight. Yes, we've got a lot of success stories where, you know, success does happen really quickly once people buckle down and actually start, you know, with their own words, buckle down and start using Marmalade and really focusing on their business as a real thing. You know, we see huge success. You know, hey, I went full time after 3 months. Hey, I'm on my way to a 6-figure seller this quickly. It happens, but it's a very concerted effort. And the overnight success story is just not a thing.
So another sales-related reason that some people close their Etsy shops is that they find that nobody wants to buy their products. So how do you avoid this? Well, for this, you need to make sure that there is a market for your product. And ideally, this is something that you do before you invest all the time in acquiring materials and creating your product and listing those things online. So verify the market first. But if you haven't done that, you should probably go back and make sure that that makes sense and there's a market there. Now, even if there is a market for something, it could be that competition in this market has skyrocketed. You know, maybe you were in a nice niche market and you were perfectly happy to be there, but other people have discovered that market. And now you're faced with so much competition. There's 3 times as many sellers in that space and 3 times as much competition for you. And so your sales have gone down 3 times. You're at 1/3 of where you were before. This is a very real thing. And in that case, you need to go verify the market. You need to find out how you can be competitive in that same market, or try to find a new market and attack that market. Can you niche down even more and find something that's more exclusive again? Maybe there's only 600 shoppers there, but if you're the only person selling it and you're getting 600 orders a month from those shoppers, that's still pretty good.
And another reason that's just, well, I'll say unavoidable, is life. At the end of the day, uncontrollable circumstances can pop up and they can make you move on from Etsy in your shop and you gotta shift your focus elsewhere. And it happens, right? But the beauty of the Etsy platform is you can always pick it back up in the future. Now, you might have to start from zero again, depending on how you left it. But, you know, if there's greener pastures on your horizon elsewhere, good luck. Make the most of it, right? But that's the nice thing about the Etsy platform, being independent, is you can, I don't want to say come and go because, again, you go backwards, right? But you're your own boss, you set your own hours, you do these things, but completely understand, like if it's a side hustle and you got a big promotion, you got to shift your efforts towards a job, or like, hey, maybe you got to move. A lot of people are moving right now. You got to close down your shop for a little while you make that move. Totally understand. Things happen, right? But I think what's most important is we keep just kind of a life thing, keep a positive outlook, always be looking, foot in the present, right? But an eye towards the future, and understand that you're going to better places.
So there you guys go. There's some tips to keep in mind about why other Etsy shops may have closed their doors in the past. Maybe these things aren't affecting you, but it's still a good idea to be vigilant for them. Be aware that these things are out there and these signs are there so that when you detect something like this is going on, you have the opportunity to catch it before it snowballs, catch it before it gets to the point where you need to close your Etsy shop. And like Richie said, maybe there's nothing you can do about it. Maybe life just happens and that's the way things are. That's how things go sometimes. But if it is something that you can do something about, trying to attack a different market, for example, you should be aware of that and kind of have your mind set at that before it gets to the point where you need to pay bills and you've got no money coming in to do that. So it's super important to always be vigilant for stuff like that. Hopefully this helped you guys, and we will see you guys next time on The Jam.